Success in farming is all about precision and efficiency, ensuring every seed, every drop of water, every nutrient and treatment counts. Terraplex Ag is helping farmers all over Iowa and the Midwest do just that. With precision ag drone technology and support from Terraplex, you'll boost your productivity and make timely and informed decisions, all while reducing your costs and increasing your profit. It's time to revolutionize your farming. Harvest the benefits with Terraplex Ag. Visit terraplexag.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening. It is June 4th. Jabo and I doing a nice little early morning recording. You'll probably be hearing this in the afternoon, but happy to have you. Glad you're listening. I know Jabo is always worth your time, and I hope that you are starting to think I'm also worth your time to listen to. How are you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. I like that hat. I want that hat.
Thank you. I forgot to totally address that I'm dressed like a redneck because I was at the farm earlier. So I got up at 3:30 and went and did some farm work from about 4 till 6:15. Then came back to do this pod with you, but I was wearing this cutoff and my John Deere farm hat. So I'm dressed like a redneck farmer for this podcast episode today.
So let me know what the whole CTO kind of thing that's occurring. Is that what it's called? I've been following a little bit. Yeah.
So John Deere saw an ad. They posted on Instagram like mid-April, said they're hiring for their first ever chief tractor officer. And basically this position is going to be someone who is going to travel the country, making social media content for John Deere, whether that's on farms, construction sites, all over the place, educating America on why John Deere is the gold standard, which I agree they are. We are a John Deere farming family. Why they are the gold standard in construction equipment and technology and helping the infrastructure of America. So I applied for it, made a video, sent it in. They still haven't made a decision. They posted a video on TikTok like 4 weeks ago saying one of these faces could be your next CTO. My clip was part of the video.
Hell yeah.
Don't know if that means anything. It could just be they randomly picked people.
How many clips were there?
There was clips of maybe 20 to 25 people.
Wow, that's huge.
In it. I think like thousands applied for this. So my negative mind is now, I'm usually an optimist. I'm a positive person. My mind is been going to, well, surely they've decided by now and they're just finalizing paperwork and setting it all up with this person. And they're going to film like a introductory video. And I would have known by now if I got it, is where my mind is going. But who knows? I could be wrong.
They haven't said anything on social media?
They posted that one video. And then like a week and a half ago, they posted another video saying your next CTO could come from one of these states, and they made a video just showing all the states where people applied from and stuff. And they have not made a decision yet. But I tell you what, I might not look like Brad Pitt or Miles Teller, but I am informative as they come when it's going to come to John Deere, an outgoing goofball, and I am the man for the job. And if they don't choose me, that's their loss.
What's the competition look like? Are we got some tough gals or guys?
Well, I saw some of the videos and I'm a little biased, and my friends and people that have seen it too are probably too, but I think mine was the best because a lot of people did, hey, John Deere, I'm so-and-so. This is why I should be your thing. Kind of walking around doing some kind of goofy stuff. But one of their requirements was you need to make face melting social media content. So I went all out. I was climbing my feed pile and I fell down my feed pile and had Josiah recording it. And I was throwing hay bales. I was wearing my John Deere shoes that I have, doing all sorts of stuff, even incorporated my dad in it, talking about the old school versus the new school. And we'll see what happens. I definitely I want it bad. I feel like God has given me the talent and ability, personality, and the gifts to do this job. And we'll see what happens, buddy.
Well, I will be praying for you that you get it.
However,
I just don't know if you have what it takes to be the best out there.
Dang, that's brutal. Hey, honesty is the best policy, Jabo.
I'm kidding. I'm messing with you.
Hey, you know what? You probably heard that from people growing up wanting to live your dream. So I'm just going to use it as a chip on my shoulder to get even better.
Yeah, you know what? That's why I was saying it. I was trying to get you to get a little motivation up there.
Mm-hmm. So I know Zach Johnson he's a John Deere guy. He's done stuff with them. He's won the John Deere Classic and all that stuff. So when I posted some of our clips of you and me doing a pod with him, and I just said, a couple John Deere lovers chopping it up on a podcast, tag Zach, tag John Deere. I'm hoping they saw it and they could be like, "Ooh, look at this guy. He's talking with Jordan Bohannon, Zach Johnson. Who knows? Maybe he's someone we want."
Is probably a dumb question, but headquarters are in Iowa, right?
I think it's Moline, Illinois. So they got they're two like biggest plants, I think. I could be, I hope I'm not wrong, but I think it's like Waterloo and Moline, Illinois is like the two big dogs. And I'm sure I don't know if they have stuff overseas or not. Something I'll find out and be able to inform people better on if I'm the next CTO.
I did see they were, I saw the one in Waterloo that there's laying people off over there. I think.
Yeah,
right?
They have been, unfortunately. I think AI, robots, technology is unfortunately taking the place of the human in some factories around the world. It's very sad. I don't like that.
Yeah. We were talking to someone the other day, actually, and he was saying he actually worked at the Waterloo plant, and he was talking about that because he's on. I don't know how this all works, the intricacies of each job detail, but he was saying his side of things was more on the skill-based thing. So, like, I think it was like maintenance or something. I don't know. Like maintenance is a very they're always looking for guys like that.
Yeah.
So, like those jobs are always safe. But he was talking about the other department though. That what was it? I don't know. Maybe I think it said in the article that what kind of layoffs it was too. But it was something. Yeah, I don't even want to go down that line. I'm gonna start talking about stuff I have no idea what I'm talking about. So
I just hope as a country we don't like become so enamored with tech. I mean, we can't put more jobs out of okay, how am I trying to word this? We can't have more people out there than there are jobs available. Like if we just keep pushing people to the curb in favor of we can do this cheaper with new technology, I mean, we're going to have a huge unemployment crisis on our hands if that happens down the road. I hope it doesn't. And, things always revert back to the mean. Sometimes we go overboard with technology and realize, oh, maybe this was a little bit better to be in a human's hands, but time will tell. We'll see.
See, I see that
there's benefits to it for sure.
What's that?
There's benefits. There's obviously many pros to technology.
Yeah, well, I see it. If there's layoffs because of technology, there's probably going to be a lot more jobs in the other sectors because of that. So it's kind of a wash at the end of the day.
True. I tell you what, if I get this CTO job and start becoming the face of John Deere, this pod is going to freaking go to the moon, baby.
That would be quite the experience. So what is that job detail? You just travel, or do you have to actually go in the office, or what do you do?
Mainly, it sounded like you travel all over the country making content and videos. I'm sure they'd have a producer and a team and everything, and travel, maybe come back to the farm in between gigs, do stuff there, and pod with you while doing it. Do the Back Roads and Bonfires podcast. I mean, I would probably get rid of the majority of my cattle. We
talked about this. No,
I would still keep some.
No,
but I'm committed to this. I want to do this bad. So I would, instead of having like 120 cows, I'd maybe go down to like 25. So then if I have to be gone for 3-4 days, chores are easy.
100?
Well, I'd go down to like 25.
You said 125 down to 25, right?
Yeah. So I'd get rid of like 100.
Yeah.
Well, I got to make it so I can feed a bunch and they can survive while I'm gone, or chores are easy on my dad.
It's messed up. So you're just going to give up on your children like that?
Well, only 100 of them.
You're gonna come back home one day and you're just gonna sell them and never talk to them again. Daddy went to get a carton of milk and never came back.
Hey, John Deere, if you're listening, that's how much this CTO position means to me.
He will give up his children.
Hire me. I am willing to abandon my cattle for you. Not abandon.
I just feel bad.
Just place them in a better home. They'll just get placed in a better home that values them more than me, I guess.
It's not right. I think you need to have a discussion about this.
Honestly, you know what I could do? Could keep them all. And if I get the CTO job, I could hopefully, between the cattle and this, be able to hire a farmhand who could do all my chores for me.
Now we're
why didn't I ever
better.
think of that before?
Yeah, we're thinking better there. I just don't think you should abandon them that quickly.
I'm an idiot. How did I never think of that before? So stupid.
How do you know that they're going to end up in someone's other hand that might not be treating them like you?
That's true, because I do treat my cattle well. I care for them. I love them. So there's not everyone out there has a heart of gold like me.
You care for them, you love them, and then you kill them.
The circle of life.
Wow.
Oh, man. Oh, shoot. Boy, I hope I get that gig. I want it bad, man.
Maybe it's better if the cattle, you do give up the 100 cattle.
Yeah. When you put it like that, sure do taste good, though. Dang. I've been thinking I want to come up to Boji and do some pods in person or some stuff in person. I got to bring you some more Pedersen beef. I'm going to pick it up at the locker this week.
Can you ride in on a cow one day?
If you want me to. I might be all bloody and bruised from falling off it a bunch of times, but I could sure try.
Was it even possible?
Probably not. I could ride it on a horse.
And drag the cattle behind you?
I mean, honestly, I could figure something out. I could bring the livestock trailer and a cow, then let it out of the trailer and just tie it to the trailer and have it stand in your girlfriend's parents' yard, eat some grass, fertilize it a little bit.
That might get a little smelly.
A little bit. Oh, hey, you're becoming a morning person. Oh, before I get into this, we're coming to you from the Channel Seed Studios, by the way. I know Channel Seed, there's a lot of them out there, at least seedsmen who love John Deere and sell seed to farmers who love John Deere. And it's probably finally wrapping up. There's obviously some people in some really bad areas of Iowa that got a ways to go. We're finally almost wrapping up planting, though. Hopefully we've gotten the bajillion inches of rain every other day behind us. Check out Channel Seed. They can help you out with your corn and beans and maybe some other stuff if you need it too. Also, Terraplex Ag, a wonderful company featuring drone technology. They will go out and help you put on foliar feed late in the season if you want. Some cover crop in the fall that'll grow through the winter and into the spring that you could bale and have for cattle feed the next spring if you want, if you get adequate rain and it grows. All sorts of stuff with their drones. They can help improve your farming operation, especially in a year like this when it is too wet. So check out Terraplex Ag and join the drone revolution. I don't know if that's a thing, but I made it up.
That was almost got a little violent there.
Yeah, the drone revolution. It'd be like the movie iRobot.
I used to love that movie, but I don't.
Yeah, became too real.
It's becoming too apparent right now.
Oh, man. So I was asking if you were a morning person, which you're becoming one. You've been getting up early.
No, I've always been.
Okay.
When I was growing up, I would get up and get my workouts in. But then college hit, and needed
it's hard to get up in the morning.
Needed a little bit more time.
That's fair. I was one of those people who still woke up early in college. I'd be bored waiting for my roommates to wake up, so I'd drive to Walmart, drink coffee, walk around looking for something to buy. I was just bored to tears sometimes.
That waiting sounds for everyone like an expensive morning.
Yeah, well, I was trying to entertain myself. Honestly, I should have sat on my couch and just played PlayStation instead.
That might have been a better solution.
Yeah. But this morning, oh, man. So Sunday morning, I was out doing chores early before church. And the sunrise was maybe the best I've ever seen in my life Sunday morning. And I got to watch it from about 5:30 as it started coming all the way through about 7. And it was freaking beautiful. And so I just wanted to encourage people, become a morning person. Get up, get out there occasionally. It's worth it. If you're a city folk, grab a coffee, drive out into the country, find a road and watch the sunrise. It's like, I truly feel it can change your mood for the whole day. Start you off right, make you happy, put you in a good spot. I tell you what, that Sunday morning sunrise I saw was immaculate. That's my thought.
No, I mean, I love sunrises.
Yeah, they're better in the country.
Or over the lake.
Or
Nothing better.
good call right there, buddy. So okay, so the
the sunsets
house.
are nice. The sunsets are nice, but the sunrises are even better over the lake.
Yeah. So okay, so if you're sitting on the back porch or back patio of the house in Bogie, are you seeing the sunrise or the sunset?
Sunrise.
Okay, nice. Man, I tell you what, it is a beautiful way to start the day. So I'm just encouraging everyone, get out there and be a morning person. See some cool things.
See what I'm struggling.
Why?
Because I don't know. It's just I gotta get a set schedule.
Yeah, you're well, I don't know if that's ever possible if you're dealing with people.
Yeah, that's
you kind of have to go by their schedule.
Yeah. So there's
good luck.
I feel like you because I'm getting like I don't sleep a lot. All right.
Dude, I'm telling you, I haven't slept past 4 like the last 6 mornings. And my problem is I've been going to bed at like 11 or midnight. And I'm probably gonna have a stroke if I don't get more sleep.
See, that's what the kind of stuff yeah, I know.
You have to have sleep, and I know it, and I am terrible about it. I could be ready for bed at 9 and have everything wrapped up for the day, and I'll still go to bed at 11:30. I need to be more disciplined.
It's so hard. Like I know I'm the same way. Like if I get done with all my stuff, let's say at like 11:30, I know I need to go to bed. I know it. Mm-hmm. But then I start reading some stuff, and I start, I don't even know what I do. Honestly, I just sit there in my bed. I don't even know. It's weird. Like I don't watch any videos hardly ever. I don't watch TikTok. I don't
sit in bed, ponder life.
Like literally, I'm like, I can't go to bed.
You can call me. I'll probably be awake. Being irresponsible.
Yeah, a part of me too is in college. I had this issue before games. Like we would travel, and I would have a really hard time sleeping the night before game just because I'd be so excited. My adrenaline's like people don't realize how real that is, especially for athletes that are playing in front of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and 20s of thousands of people in person. How hard that is to go to bed the night before a game because you just have so much in your head and you got to just block it all out. And I hate to admit this, but I'm full transparency. I got a little addicted to NyQuil when I was in college. One, I'll say two things. One, I was sick the whole my entire college experience. I had a cold. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's just being around the gross people that are a part of college, but
weren't drinking enough hose water.
Yeah, I don't know. I had like every late December into January, I would get a sinus infection, and it would last me all the way through January into February. Like it was miserable.
Like hard to play basketball with too.
Yeah,
sinus pressure sucks.
Yeah, Z-Pack. I was hammering Z-Pack. So, like that time frame, always in college, I had to take NyQuil because I was sick all the time in the winter. And it got to a point where I was like, okay, I wasn't addicted. I don't think I'm saying this like I was like chugging NyQuil before.
I'm going to clip that as a soundbite for Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't taking shots of NyQuil before games. But like I would take it because I knew I needed to get, because we would usually get up for shoot around at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, I got to get to bed. I got to get at least 5 hours, like, or I'm going to be a walking zombie. So that would kind of help me. But what's the difference between that and melatonin? Like people be popping melatonin like it's like it's sweethearts. Like,
well, they make sleep gummy now that has the CBD in it. I actually did those for a while, over the counter, completely legal. Put me right out, but I stopped after I got through one package of them.
Yeah. And so to end the story, I know it's just the most random story ever, but I had a night when it was probably halfway into my first hip surgery rehab where, I don't know, we had so we were traveling somewhere, and I was a little sick and had my shot of NyQuil, and I had the worst nightmare I've ever had in my entire life. Ever. Like, I'm talking about, like, anything you can imagine that went wrong in someone's life, it happened in my dream or my nightmare. So I wake up the next morning and I thought everything was like, I thought my feet were gone, like they're amputated. Yeah, like everything you can imagine that could go wrong in someone's life, like that happened in my nightmare, and not only to me, but everyone I loved. And like it was like the craziest shit ever. And I never had bad dreams, and that was like set me over where okay, I this is a problem. I'm stopping, and I haven't taken NyQuil since. But yeah,
wow, let's do that again. Let's have you get on one of those again and record you while you're sleeping so we can make a video.
It was bad, dude. Like I don't wish that nightmare on. It changed my life, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking you.
No more NyQuil. I'm out. Well, sometimes that'll do that. You'll have stuff spoken to you in dreams that'll give you a wake-up call or completely change your life. I've had many a story like that from friends and stuff. So I'm happy that you're still here and that you have your feet.
Yeah. Well, it was, yeah. Melatonin, though, like, I don't understand. That's why I don't take any of that shit, because it's supposed to be, like, bad for you, isn't it? Like, really bad for you?
If you get too much of it, yeah. Everything, all that stuff can affect your liver.
Yeah.
Make the liver bad.
But you don't even get into your, like, sleep, like, your REM cycles, and
nope.
You don't get to that. Is REM cycles, right? Then the deepest part where
the REM is like the super deep, and you only actually usually do that for I was listening to a sleep study thing the other day.
It's like
actually
12 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's not a lot,
but it's like the most important part of your sleep, like your sleep schedule. If you're able to, you have to get to your REM cycles.
I had an app for a while that like you left on beside you while you slept, and it recorded your sleep habits and stuff. And after like 2 weeks, I stopped using it because it was so depressing. I'm the worst sleeper that's ever lived. I don't ever get good sleep. It's terrible.
We used to, well, I did. It was kind of optional, but I wore this, what was it? I think it was either on my wrist or my chest. No, when I woke up, I had to do it on my chest, but I think it was a band I wore on my hand in college, and it would track it on my phone, like all that kind of stuff, like the watches do now. But then when I'd wake up, I don't know why we did this, but so they would track my schedule, and I was trying to like get on a set schedule throughout college. That's the whole point why I was doing it. And trying to hit all my cycles that I'm supposed to, my sleep, and get the right hours, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know what we did. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but like I put a band around my chest, and then I put like a sensor right on the top of my sternum. And I was supposed to sit there, and I don't even know what I was supposed to do. I think I was supposed to sit up and sit there for like a minute and a half, and it was supposed to track my like oxygen levels and everything. I don't even know people that are probably listening know what I'm talking about, but it was some sort of sleep device that tracked your sleep, and then once you wake up, how you're feeling right in the morning based off of the sleep you've gotten. So I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but
I've seen, I have heard of them, and I've seen like pictures or videos of people doing them, but I've never done it myself. Probably never will.
Yeah,
probably don't make a strap big enough for me.
Oh, it was pretty big, and I have a tight little torso, so I had to tighten that baby.
Oh man. Well, speaking of nightmares, here's a story for you. In Lincoln, Nebraska, this story comes from a woman who was pronounced dead came back to life at a funeral home in Nebraska, officials said. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office is investigating the incident. This happened at a Boothorus, Mazer, and Love funeral home in Lincoln on Monday morning. A 74-year-old woman was pronounced dead at 9:45 by staff at Mulberry Nursing Home in Waverly, Nebraska. She had been in hospice, so it was kind of expected to come. Well, the mortician was working on her, prepping her and everything for the funeral and what she'll look like in the casket. starts breathing again at 11:43. 2 hours later, mortician calls 911. They come, take her back to the hospital, and as of today, she's still alive.
She's still alive?
As of today, she's still alive and breathing again.
I saw this article. I didn't know she was still alive.
Oh, you actually saw it?
Yeah, it popped up on my Facebook yesterday.
Yeah, still alive. So I got a hold of my buddy, one of my good friends, Tim, is a funeral home owner and mortician. I sent this to him and I said, have you ever had this happen to you? He said, no. He said, there was one time where I thought someone's eyes fluttered. But this is the second time he's heard of this. This actually happened in Des Moines not long ago either.
Yeah.
So I thought, can you imagine if you're working on a body and all of a sudden it starts breathing again, or like the eyes open? I told Tim, I'm taking a swing and I'm punching that body.
See, I read it wrong. I thought it was in Waverly, Iowa. So that was in Nebraska. And that
Waverly,
was
Nebraska.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how morticians do it. My buddy Tim, so Sioux City is about an hour or so, as you know, from Elta. And occasionally someone from our area will be at Mercy or St. Luke's over there and pass. And he'll have to go. He'll get the call that they've passed. He'll go pick them up middle of the night or something, bring them back, work on them, embalm them, all that stuff, and then go home. So sometimes if it's my slow season, he'll call me up and ask if I want to ride along to Sioux City. We stop at Perkins, get some breakfast or a meal or something at 2, 3 in the morning. So sometimes I will be with him in his funeral home van with a dead body behind me as we drive back from Sioux City to Elta, Iowa.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Dude, it's crazy. I've been in there before when like the night workers come open the back door where he goes and picks up the body. You pull it out of a cooler. I've watched him take this cold human dead body off of the stretcher, put it inside the bag and zip it up. And then him and the workers load it in the van. And it is 1 foot behind me in the back of the van as we drive back home from Sioux City.
No, thank you.
It's kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. I'll never forget. There was one time we were coming back and we came up on a curve. We weren't paying attention. Came up on a curve too soon. He had to like reach back behind him and hold the body from like rolling because the whole back of the van is just like, it's like a big, just flat area. There's no seats or anything.
Wait, it's not even, the body's not even.
It was on it's just on a board that slides in there. But
what?
He took it too soon. He took it too hard and he had to reach back and hold the body so it wouldn't go like rolling across the van as we were taking this turn at like 60.
So the body isn't like secured at all. It's not.
No, it's just kind of slightly strapped onto this board that slides in the van.
Huh.
But go take a turn too sharp, 200-pound body, a lot of momentum. It's going to go flying off that board.
And this is after or before? So he's the one that gets it ready for the funeral.
Yep. So he picks it up and he'll drop me off, say, thanks for joining me. And then he'll go to the funeral home where he will go get a cart, put the body on a cart, and he'll start embalming it and preserving it and getting it ready to be in the casket.
So embalming, what's this process? How's the process of getting that ready?
It's certain kinds of fluids and stuff that, what do they call it? Formaldehyde and other stuff that you inject into the body.
Corona.
What's that?
It's in the beer Corona.
What? What is that?
Yeah. From the beer Corona.
In the beer Corona is formaldehyde?
Yeah, look it up.
I'm going to start drinking more of that then. Preserve myself. So, yeah, I think you have to like inject it in different areas to preserve the body. And then, he tells me he just kind of, I think the family decides like the next day maybe or something. You start meeting with the family, decide what you want them to wear, if they have a suit or a certain item of clothing, and then they'll leave the clothes with him, and then he has to hold up the body parts and move the thing around while he gets it dressed. And it's a career that I could never do. Ever.
That is one. I don't know what's more crazy, you riding in the car or the body not being like securely strapped up so it doesn't roll over.
Yeah, I know. Kind of wild. What a wild profession. I know. And it's kind of weird that and then a lot of times if it's St. Luke's in Sioux City, there's a nice 24/7 gas station by that we'll stop and grab something to drink maybe. And we'll like there's people everywhere. It's an area where the night owls don't sleep. So there's like 15 people walking around. This gas station has a full-time security guard. And we get out of the van and go in, and I just like look out the window and be like, none of those people know that in that van they're standing beside is a dead body.
What's it? So it's not like marked, or the car's not marked to like a certain.
Nope, just a big nice,
anything?
just a big white van that looks really nice.
Hmm.
Kind of crazy.
You're usually supposed to stay away from those white vans.
Yeah,
I was always told.
Especially when you're a single guy with a mustache.
Yeah, I was always told. Oh yeah, I mean, what's going on here?
I roll the window down on the white van. What's up?
That's something. Okay, of all, I don't really watch a lot of videos or anything. That's something I've gotten really, really into is
molesters.
No. The opposite, dude. Relax. The opposite.
Relax.
Those sick fucks can all rot in hell for eternity. But I've been watching the what are they? They're like To Catch a Predator or whatever. Yeah. There's like these guys. Alex Rosen's one of them. I've been watching.
Yeah,
a lot.
I follow him on Twitter. He goes around and exposes them all.
Yeah, I love that shit, and just completely makes it awkward as hell and ruins their entire life in front of.
Screw those people.
Yeah,
horrible humans.
It's disgusting. Like there's one what was it? He was like a top guy at a really high up company that he got caught. He was like in a wheelchair. He was like kind of disabled.
I don't remember.
Shoot, it was like he was like head of like human resources or something at a really large company.
Well, I do not remember. Sorry, buddy.
But it's just disgusting, dude. Like
it is. It's truly.
I don't know why I watch it because it just gets me pissed off, but it makes me happy too that they are getting in trouble.
A lot of mental illness out there. A lot of mental illness.
Like, who in the right mind? How do you even get to that point in your life? It just blows me away.
You're mentally ill. I mean, it does say in the Bible. I'm not trying to get all biblical on people, but I'll share this. There's specific verses in the Bible, which I am a full Bible believing Christian, that talk about how if you don't think you can control yourself or can abstain, that it's good. You should always be married. And that's why you see a lot of issues with like priests and stuff, because they take this abstinence vow or celibacy vow, and the human things happen and bad ideas come into your head and your brain starts working weird. And that's why we get these terrible, terrible things. I mean, the sad part is a lot of these guys are like married that do this. So then their unsuspecting wife, her life is ruined. She had no idea. She was married to this monster. Now people are judging her potentially, and bad deal.
I mean, cheating is one thing. Like I'll never get over past that either. But to purposely harm a child, I will never. I hope they all die. Like literally, I don't even care.
I'm with you, buddy.
And especially like I'm following all this like Epstein shit, like just not even talked about still anymore. I'm like,
yep, crazy.
Where'd he go?
All I know is that he did not kill himself.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
We get down a political line that I'd probably.
Yeah, let's talk politics for the last 25 minutes, right?
Let's not do that. We might lose some listeners.
Oh, man. I want to share this. This is an awesome story with you. Then we got some Hawkeye stuff that we do need to talk about. Did you hear about the Birmingham Southern baseball team, Division III baseball team?
Didn't even know that was a school.
All right. So here you go. Birmingham Southern University completely closed permanently for good. No longer going to be a school on May 31st. Well, their baseball team qualifies for the Division III College World Series. So they were playing like 5 days of baseball in the College World Series for a school that literally didn't even exist, because it was into June still. I think June 3rd their season ended. So the school permanently closes on May 31st. They were not like a super highly ranked team, but it's one of those, I love these sports stories where it's just like serendipitous that you weren't that good, but something major happens and all of a sudden all the stars align and you have this magical moment. And They make the College World Series, but before that, they're playing in the Super Regional. 9 of their players get food poisoning. 2 are in the hospital and can't even play. 7 of them are getting IVs behind the dugout between innings or when they're not on the field, and they still find a way to make the College World Series. And here's where it gets even crazier. Do you know who Adam LaRoche is? He played Major League Baseball.
Yes.
Okay, so when he was playing for the White Sox, he played for 12 years. He basically retired and got mad and pissed because the White Sox told him to stop bringing his kid around the clubhouse and stuff. Well, that kid ends up playing for Birmingham Southern, is their starting ace pitcher while this is all happening. And it's just like all these crazy storylines and everything. I thought it was so awesome. Shout out to those guys. They ended up getting eliminated, did not win at all, but against all odds, they made it to the D3 College World Series. I just love those wild sports stories like that where you could make a documentary about them and all the different angles and storylines. It was really cool.
So what happens to the kids? They're all transferring, obviously, or something?
Yeah, everyone's going to have to go to a new school. That would be such a bummer. Like you build this brotherhood and bond with your teammates, and now you're all getting split up. That'd be depressing.
I think they'll be okay.
Probably. I was friends with a handful of the guys who played baseball at UNI when I went there, and I think 2009 or 2008, I don't remember what year it was the last year when they canceled the baseball program. And some of them just chose to stay at UNI and say, all right, our career's over. They were like varsity starters too, from like freshman through junior year from around this area that I played against growing up. And like, we're good. We're not going to travel over. We still want to just stay and hang out with the boys. So a lot of them just stayed and hung it up, quit playing. But shout out to Birmingham Southern.
That's one of the hardest things to do when you're a athlete.
I can't imagine,
because you're literally told what to do, like talking about workout wise and talking about your whole life, and then all of a sudden you're just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of those guys are going through it. That's a really, really hard thing to do.
Well, and I remember like when sports ended in high school, there was a lot of tearful moments and how sad it was. And you don't have the locker room and the moments with the guys like behind closed doors where no one else knows what's going on. We're having a time. But I imagine I don't imagine. I know it's even harder at the college and professional level because you guys go through more, you experience more, there's more eyeballs on you. It becomes even more of a family because only you guys really understand each other and what you're dealing with. And so I imagine having to just all of a sudden that ends and now you have to like go into real life mode. Boy, what a bummer. I mean, obviously some people get to go keep playing professionally, but it's very, very few.
Yeah, well, I'm safe to say I didn't cry after my last game in the G League. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. How about after Richmond?
Oh, yeah.
Brutal?
Oh, that was really tough. Oregon game was really tough just because how I played, 2, we lost to a team we should have probably beat, and we had a chance to go to the Final Four. Everything you go through in a season, like it all hits you really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really cried often in my life, but the endings of seasons, yes.
Mm-hmm.
When my dog died, yes. My grandpa died, yes. But that was very rarely do I have emotions move to tears.
Yeah. I am an emotional person. I cry all the time watching TV, movies, videos. They'll get me. I'm a crier. My whole family is too. My parents are emotional.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I wish I would be a little more. I don't know. I'm pretty good about being positive and staying positive. I'm
a complex case because I can be a total sociopath, but I'm also very emotional and empathetic at times.
See, that's been my problem my whole life. Like I'm very like a sympathetic person. So like even just little stuff like this, Adam, I'll see someone sitting down by themselves for dinner, and I just like feel really sympathetic for them and wanting. Like just little stuff like that.
Same. I feel like that's what makes me a good youth leader at our church, is because I reach out. I can connect with maybe the kids who don't have a ton of friends, who are maybe not getting a lot of attention or stuff. I'll connect with them and give them a pal in life, and obviously other people in other youth leaders do as well and stuff. And that's why a lot of people go into ministries to reach those people. But I am with you. I'll see someone by themselves that just make me super bummed or sad. And if I can join them, I like to.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. Speaking of someone who did make the pros and didn't have to hang it up after college, Caitlin Clark. Pretty much every podcast out there that talks about sports has talked about this, but we are one of the few that actually has an Iowa Hawkeye on here who's lived the experience she lived to talk about it. So I'd love to get your thoughts. I have plenty of thoughts on how some of these gals in the WNBA are treating her, but I'd love to hear some of yours first before I give some of mine, because you're a little more familiar with the situation, maybe.
I want to hear yours first, actually, and I'll
right.
kind of piggyback.
All right, here's my first thought that I wrote down. It reminds me of Michael Jordan's early years against the Pistons, Celtics, and Cavs when he was having to cut his teeth in the league, and some vets he took some brutal shots. The games were physical, and those Eastern Conference wars when he first started. The Cavs had Mark Price and who's the high-flying dunker guy? I can't remember his name, but those Eastern Conference wars, and then he finally started getting Pippen and a lot of those guys and overcoming it. But it kind of reminds me of that. It's like a little bit of a welcome to the league moment. I'm less defensive of her probably than some. I still think it's kind of garbage. I do wish her teammates, like I tell you what, I was a teammate who's getting ejected for a game and dropping a guy if he goes after one of my teammates. And I do not like the fact that her teammates and her coaches aren't coming completely unglued and freaking throwing, like Aaliyah Boston was standing right there. If I was Aaliyah Boston and that Kennedy or whatever her name is did that, I'm probably throwing hands. Like, you got to stand up for your teammates, especially your star. And then to top it off, they're in their 11th game in 20 days when some WNBA teams have only played 6 or 7, and they're just running her ragged. She's exhausted, but that was I'm like, she'll be okay. It's a change. You got to get used to the new style and the new system. She's also almost no break from college to WNBA, so she's just probably freaking exhausted. They're getting barely any rest between games, but I am still kind of pissed about some of the things I saw, but I'm probably less defensive of her than some others, even though obviously I want her to be the GOAT and all this amazing stuff, and because she was a Hawk and she's from Iowa and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in talking. I mean, one, this has been all over the news. Like, it's actually crazy how much it's been talked about. Yeah. Like, First Take got in, there's almost a flat out violent brawl that occurred yesterday.
I saw that.
I'm more interested in talking about the teammate aspect rather than her herself, because I think, not to come off a bad way, yes, cheap shots are never warranted, and they should be handled accordingly. But it's also, that's what happens. And in sports, you're going to get cheap shots. You're going to have players that don't play the right way. You just kind of have to deal with it. The thing that I'd rather talk about is the teammate aspect. Like, you're exactly right. Where has her teammates been on, one, helping her off the ground even? I mean, let's start with there, helping her off the ground, or two, having someone get in the face of someone that is in the face of her. And that's where I look at it, where that just isn't happening on her team. And, her coach has said some things about having her back, but the coach can only say so much. Even if she did have her back fully, she's still just the coach. She's not going to be out there on the court with her, being able to have her back. They need to have actually a person out there that is going to be there by her side. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't like getting into the weeds of the whole physicality of it, because I personally, I have no problem with it. It's going to come off a bad way, but it's going to happen in any sort of sport. There's going to be physicality like that. The problem is there's no one sticking up for her, because she can only do so much. I mean, she gets up and starts fighting back. Well, now it's a lose-lose, because she's in the spotlight now. She's fighting another player from a different team, even though it's warranted, but it's a bad look for her. Where if a teammate by her side is able to do that, it'll look, bad at first, but it's also you're sticking up for your teammates, so you'll get a lot of appreciation from a lot of fans out there as well too, and the public eye. So
yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's I think the shift should be, all the energy should be shifted on her teammates and not so much as the physicality.
Yep. And another thought I had, and this kind of relates to what you're saying about her teammates, is I almost feel like even her own teammates, along with like the rest of the league, basically, and every women's basketball player who plays, there's a lot of jealousy. And I think their jealousy is showing in their action. And
Jealousy?
I thought about,
why would there be?
and I thought of like when the NBA, okay, so Bird and Magic come along, kind of saved the NBA from the doldrums of the late 70s and early 70s it was in. And players surrounded them and respected them and supported them because they were making the game more relevant, which is going to make them more relevant and make them more money. And then when the NBA went nuclear with Jordan, all the players, except for maybe Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons teammates, loved him, respected him, even though they wanted to beat him. They were thankful for what he was doing for the league. And I think about golf with Tiger. You'll never hear a golfer, at least I've never heard a golfer, not heap praise on Tiger Woods for everything he did for that sport to make them all wealthier, give them more notoriety. They have all got bigger and better sponsorships because of Tiger. And I feel like, I'm not saying they all have to bow down and worship her, but they're now getting charter flights because of her, and there's more eyeballs. The ratings are insane right now compared to last year. The Fever have already broke their home attendance record through like 6 home games compared to all of last season. And she's making everyone more money. And I'm not saying like, yeah, you don't want to go out and beat her, but the jealousy and the disrespect that seems to come is different than anything we've experienced in other sports where Tiger and MJ and like even Serena, I feel like they all had that respect. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like Caitlyn has it maybe, but I could be. And it almost seems like some of her own teammates even are a little jealous. And I don't know. I have more thoughts that I probably shouldn't say on the air, but go ahead.
Well, what's going to happen is, as much as Caitlyn has done for the sport, it's ultimately going to get to the point where people are going to stop watching because of it.
I know, exactly.
It's great right now because it's providing more attention towards the sport. Like, as much as we want to hate talking about the physicality, it's also still bringing more eyes to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right, but it's also bringing more eyes to it.
Mm-hmm.
However, if it keeps going down the path it is, people are just going to stop watching, and it's not going to be a sport as apparent as it is right now, and it all becomes stemming from the jealousy standpoint. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because you hear them talking about it. They're like, well, there's a lot of people beforehand that put this sport on the map and put her in the position to make it as popular as it is, which is true. But
yes, numbers don't lie, though, bro. Yeah, I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying it to all those naysayers.
Right. Let's call a spade a spade. She's also the reason why people are watching now, not, Diana or all these other players that came in before her. So I don't know. I think ultimately, for me, just because I like to be as truthful as possible, I don't see it changing just because of the players that are in the league. I don't see that ever changing. So it's going to be interesting by the end of the year, next year, what that's going to look like if it's still going on.
I think it'll change a little when she becomes more of a veteran and then younger players are coming into the league. I think the rivalry and will always be there with Reese and some of these other girls. And that also brings them another point. I hate fake people. Angel Reese and her teammate, Angel Reese is up clapping when that girl cheap shots Caitlyn. Her coach is clapping. They're all supportive of it. And then they go in the press conference and they're all like, oh, it's all love. It's just competitive. Like, stop being fake. I want you. We all know you don't like her. It's so obvious. All Angel Reese does is spend every waking moment she's not on a basketball court tweeting about Caitlin Clark and saying all this stuff. I mean, Caitlin, I don't know if anyone's ever lived more rent-free in someone's head than Caitlin Clark does and Angel Reese's. Just go to the podium and say, yeah, we hate her. We don't like her. We respect her game, but we don't like her. I hate the whole oh no, we won't talk about that, or it's all love. Oh my gosh, drives me crazy. Inauthenticity.
The one, yeah, and oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was about Angel Reese.
Living rent free, rivalry.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, I just don't see it getting to the point where it's possible. Oh, I remember. I think from the aspect of being an athlete, I would much rather them come into the podium and post game interviews and say, "Yeah, we don't like her. We're going to be physical with her, and we're going to have her understand that we don't want her here." Like I'd much rather from a,
I know, right?
I mean, from looking back in NBA, I feel like that's occurred. That's happened. Even to Michael Jordan, that's happened to players that played against him. That they've said that point blank that you know they don't like Kobe, for example. How many people called Kobe Bryant an asshole?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people like that. So I'd much rather watch that and be truthful and understand that's what I'm getting into when I'm watching something, and not someone that is going to talk a big game. And I guess they are being physical, but they're also going to be fake about it after.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Caitlin will be fine. She's going to have an exceptional career, and hopefully the WNBA don't bite the hand that feeds you, man. This is a window. Windows can close quickly if your product becomes unwatchable and annoying to a lot of new eyeballs. You got to handle this right and make sure you keep your fans around. So we will see.
And let's be honest here. A lot of the girls that are talking crap, they're not the greatest basketball players. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
But
they wouldn't be in the WNBA if they weren't 6'5".
yeah. Like they're not very good. They can't shoot a free throw. Okay. Like you can't be talking shit to someone that is changing the sport.
Yep. All right. Let's switch here to Ben Kueter, a Hawkeye who I think is going to be a future legend, a Hawkeye legend when it's all said and done. Do you know who Ben Kueter is?
Nope.
All right. So he's a wrestler and also a football player. He went 111-0 in high school, never lost, 4-time state champ. 105 of those 111 wins were either by pin or tech fall. And he's won a world championship as a 17-year-old, I believe. And he's now trying to win another world championship. So he was a 4-star recruit in football. He was one of the top wrestling recruits in the country. And he posted the other day that I'll just read it here so I don't screw up any words. First off, I would like to thank Coach Wallace and Coach Ferentz for letting me live out a dream of mine. Coach Wallace is the reason I chose to play football at Iowa. Secondly, I would like to thank my football brothers for making this last year so enjoyable. I've made bonds with those guys that will last a lifetime. With that being said, I would like to announce that I will be transitioning to just wrestling for the next 10 months in order to win a world title, NCAA title, hell yeah, and an NCAA team title, hell yeah again. That was me saying that. I love Hawkeye wrestling so much. To meet these goals will require my full attention for the next 10 months, but this is not the end of my football career. I will still start back up in the spring. Thank you to the best fans in the world, and go Hawks.
Wow.
This is where I need your expertise. I do not think I just don't think you can give all of it to football and wrestling if those are the two sports you're trying to balance. I think he's got to go all in on one of them and not do two sports. But what would it have been like trying to do two sports as a full-time athlete?
He's not really doing two sports, right? He's putting football on hold for this season, and he's going after.
Well, he tried to do both last, but I just don't. I feel like if you focus on wrestling for 10 months, come back in the spring, I know like the guys are going to be supportive and not be like, oh, you weren't around here, and be a jerk to him. But I just don't know if you can fully go all in on both, but maybe you can and make it work.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yes.
Like the schedule, the school, the balance. Obviously, he's only going to do wrestling now, but you feel like he would still be hopefully at least like on the football lifting program if he's going to try to keep doing both. But I don't know.
Hard for me to imagine he would if he's trying to get ready for wrestling. That would be sport suicide if you're trying to do that, because then you're getting ready for a sport, training for a different sport than you're actually going to play in the winter. So I agree with you. It's hard to, just from a team aspect, not saying physicality, he's obviously an athlete enough to make it work, but just from a team aspect, yeah, there's going to be for sure guys talking about, well, he wasn't around, and if he's ends up playing more than someone else that was around, then there's going to be some sort of animosity. But I don't think enough to affect the team by any means, but that's definitely going to be there.
Yeah, and I understand probably why he wants to continue to strive for football as well, because I mean, you just think monetarily, post college wrestling versus football, which one's gonna make you some money if you're good enough to do both? I kind of hope. So he's about 240 right now, but I mean, he is jacked, and I kind of hope. So you can be a heavyweight at 240. The limit for heavyweight in college is 285. He can do it at 240 and win with quickness and strength and explosiveness still over some of those guys. I kind of want him to go to about 260 and move down to a super athletic D end, be a little heavier heavyweight, and dominate in wrestling that way. But I do like this announcement, because the last couple of years of wrestling have left a bad taste in my mouth. We need to get back to being the dominant force we were, where we're winning out of every 5 years. We're at least winning 2 team titles, maybe 3. Stinking Penn State needs to be knocked down a peg. I'm sick and tired of them winning everything in wrestling. And Keuter and a lot of guys that we have on the team that are young right now could be the ones that turn that around and bring us back to glory. This guy's an absolute stud. Hopefully,
what's his position in football?
Outside linebacker. And those are the coverage linebackers. So you got to be fast. So you probably want to stay around. You don't probably want to get much over 240.
That's a big offensive or outside linebacker, 265.
Yeah, so that's why I think maybe move him down to D end.
Yeah,
super athletic D end. Then he's more around heavyweight weight for wrestling. But we gotta get back to glory in wrestling. You probably don't care about it. I love Hawkeye wrestling so much.
It's not that I don't care about it. I just never.
Not a wrestling guy.
No,
that's okay.
And I respect the hell of them. That's not why I don't watch it. I just don't. I don't really want to.
Nothing wrong with that. It's not for everyone. But I tell you what, I would love to sit down on a Sunday night and watch me a good Hawkeye wrestling match on the Big Ten Network as we dominate everyone except stupid Penn State. What are you going to do, Penn State? They don't deserve it. They've done bad things over there. They don't deserve all this success.
Yeah, but the kids did it.
Just kidding. Oh, shoot. Well, that was fun, buddy.
I have one final thought. What is it? I need a drink like
more coffee.
Yeah, maybe that. I'm losing my train of thoughts. Am I getting old?
I mean, yeah. You're not getting any younger.
Okay.
I'm 37.
Talk about. You were 11 when I wasn't even out of the womb yet.
Yep, crazy. You were just being born, and I was out on that. When's your birthday?
June 19th.
Holy moly, it's almost your birthday. You going to celebrate in Bochi? Should I come up and buy you a drink?
I'm going to Austin actually that weekend.
Oh, man, that'll be
the
fun.
20th, so I'm excited for a bachelor party.
Fun stuff. Whose bachelor party? A teammate?
My best friend from high school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on, buddy. Well, that'll be exciting. I've heard Austin is amazing. Awesome nightlife, food. I've heard the scenes are great in Austin.
I'm excited. We'll see. I really love Nashville, and I've heard it's very similar to Nashville.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm surprised I've never been. I've been to like Dallas and Houston, and but Austin has been taking off recently. I feel like as a city, good or I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Austin and Nashville are 2 places I've never been. 2 places I've always very much wanted to go. We should visit them when we take this show on the road if we're making videos and content for it someday. Live shows from there during college basketball or some festival where we just eat our faces off.
There's a big Hawkeye bar in Nashville.
What? Live show?
Yeah, I think Connor and Patrick did one 2 years ago.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they did.
We need to make that happen.
Yeah.
We'll get you. Let's just bring Fran down. Let's bring Gary too while we're going. Let's bring the whole squad. Just go do a bunch of pods from the I Club in Austin or wherever, the Hawkeye Bar in Austin.
We can have driving the same car with Gary. Gary will talk the whole time.
I love it. That'd be great. You're in the back seat getting so annoyed because I'm like, all right, Gary, what was your favorite this? What was your favorite that? Give me your top 5 this, top 5 that. Oh, man. All right. Well, I hope the rest of your day goes well before you head up north again. I will pray that you do not drive through any horrible hailstorms or anything while you're coming back to the good NWIA, Northwest Iowa. And make sure you check out all of our, by the way, got to check out Keuter Garden Center. 4 locations in total, 2 in Des Moines. They have this place. I was looking at their website. Hold up. Let me pull this up quick. They have the Glass House Market at their Grimes location. Fantastic. All sorts of cool gifts.
Market.
Yeah, Glass House Market, part of their Grimes location. So many awesome gifts and stuff in there. It looked really cool. So check out Keuter Garden Center, not just for your plants and shrubbery and everything you need like that, but also gifts. You probably find something there for Father's Day coming up, which is this Sunday.
Is it this Sunday? Wow.
Tell Gordy, said Happy Father's Day from your podcast partner he's never met.
I didn't realize it was this Sunday. Why is it so early this year?
I don't know. I think it's this Sunday. Maybe it's one more. I thought it was this Sunday.
I don't know if it's this Sunday.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop talking so you can go to your next meeting.
Father's Day. Yeah, it's next Sunday, bud.
Like as in the 14th?
June 16th.
16th? Okay. All right. I got more time to think of a gift then.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a really early Father's Day.
I can't wait to wish you a happy Father's Day on this pod someday.
Okay. All right. Let's
you think 2-3 years from now?
Let's hit leave studio. I'm gonna click right here.
All right.
We'll talk later.